han komin, jula hevet fix if you can play. Gavin han komin new.
Welcome to another episode of our holiday countdown. Today I wanted to talk about this fella here, the Julbocken. I have talked about this on my FlossTube a couple of years ago, but I wanted to put it here again because it is a Nordic essential part of the holidays, the Julbocken or the Christmas goat. They come in all forms and sizes, shapes and sizes. This one is very small. I picked it up from IKEA a bunch of years ago and I really like it. I'm very happy with it, but they come in slightly larger sizes as well, as we will see later in this video. But it has a really fascinating history. It has sort of gone through lots of different mutations over the years. So the earliest sort of Nordic mentions of goats are Tan Grisner and Tan Njöster, which kind of translates, I believe, as tooth bearer and tooth gnasher. These were the two goats that belonged to Thor, and Thor, they pulled Thor's chariot through the heavens apparently. They had a fun capacity as well of being revived by Thor when they died, so they could have a feast, slaughter the goats, and then the next morning he would revive them again. So that's the sort of the Edda goat story there, but the Julbocken kind of goes back to a period of sort of pagan Scandinavia as well, where it was believed that it was kind of a harvest spirit. So the last sheaf of grain would be kept, tied together, and was kept for celebrations during the Yule festival. And this was known as the Julbocken. And it was believed that the spirit of the harvest or the spirit of the grain would reside in this. You see this as well in other cultures where they make corn dollies and hang them on the ceiling as a protector of the seeds, and that the next harvest may be successful again. But yeah, it's a fascinating thing that this tradition keeps evolving over the years and over the years. In the 11th century, we see a gentleman dressing up like St. Nicholas, and he's accompanied by a creature, a goat, in some pictures. Sometimes it might have been a man dressed up as a goat as well. St. Nicholas, of course, is the embodiment of all that is good and the victory over evil, which is represented by the goat. And of course, we are sort of coming to Yule, we're coming to the holidays here, St. Nicholas is being involved, so this goat is getting a winter spot now. At one point in Scandinavian countries, there is this man dressed up literally in a goat suit, going door to door, being quite mischievous, and a little bit like trick-or-treating, except for they demand gifts from people, and they pull pranks on people, and they are going in houses, and it's part of the celebrations. However, this gift demander then shifts as well, and in the 19th century he becomes a gift bearer, so he goes door to door with a sack on his back and, pretty much like Santa, delivers gifts to children. In Finland, however, there was a character called, I just need to look it up, Nyhtipukki, I think it's pronounced Nyhtipukki, and which means Saint Nuts Goat, which was a festival on the 13th of January, the end of the Christmas period. And this was a character which was basically linked again to the end of the festivities, but was later transformed into Julbocken, Yule Goat. And Julbocken is still the name that Santa has in Finland. So it's quite interesting that in Finland, an old man with a white beard in a red suit, pretty much looking like the Coca-Cola Santa Claus that we know, is actually called the Christmas goat. So yeah, that's one of the fun things, that this little fella has survived in many, many different ways throughout the Scandinavian world. But probably the greatest of all time is the Gävle goat in the city of Gävle in Sweden. They erect this huge wooden statue clad with grain, with straw and grain, and it is like the largest Christmas goat in the world, pretty much. And the tradition started in the 1960s. I believe it was 1966. And every year they build one. And nearly every year it gets destroyed. Arsonists love setting it to fire. People ram their cars into it. It's very often it is destroyed. There is a live stream in which you can see if it is still there or not. I will put a link in the description below. I am recording this video on the 5th of December, and I just checked it, and it was still standing this morning. So I'm going to have a look in a bit again this evening. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will survive. But yeah, it's not the idea that it is burned down. Someone did burn it down in 2001. A 51-year-old gentleman from Cleveland, Ohio.
What hotspot's got the hippest groove?
Cleveland.
Where all the real gun daddies move.
Cleveland.
Dig that sweet Cuyahoga glow.
What smells so good?
Cleveland.
He was made to believe, probably by mischievous locals, that it was part of the celebrations in Sweden to burn this massive goat down to the ground. And he thought he was partaking in a local tradition, according to his defense lawyer. He was sentenced to prison. He served 18 days in jail. He was fined as well, which he didn't pay. He went back to the US after a couple of days in having spent in jail. I think he spent 18 days there. And went back to Cleveland, Ohio.
I say, Cleveland, hello.
Yeah, it's not the idea. The judge actually took his lighter from him, which is a detail which I love, because he said he did not have the responsibility to carry such a dangerous item on him. But yeah, that is the Yule Goat. I absolutely love it. I hope you liked this little chat about the Yule Goat, Julbocken, Julbocken, whatever you want to call him. I really love this tradition in the Scandinavian world. I will be checking out the live feed because I kind of get obsessed now about this. And I will be back for another video very shortly as well. I hope to see you soon. Stay safe, stay warm, and see you in a bit. Bye-bye.